Life can be chaotic at times. Mornings spent rushing through traffic, the hustle and bustle of the workday, constant notifications on your phone. Wouldn't it be nice to take a moment for yourself and stop to smell the flowers? Welcome, I'm TinyGuard, and I invite you to take a journey with me as we explore flower. Flower opens to a lifeless, empty room. We're boxed in by splotched walls and surrounded by noise. Hollow wind howls through the broken window, the pale sky beyond blocked by tattered laundry and buildings. Below us, the dull roar of city traffic and airplanes groaning above. A siren wails in the distance, and appliances hum even here inside our room. It feels confined, like the city has trapped us. But sitting on our desk is a light of hope. A single flower. Press any button to zoom in on the flower and the first level begins. A short scene plays, reinforcing the gravity of our situation. The only color present is the lights from cars as they rush through the night. The camera zooms out to a seemingly endless city, dwarfed by cranes continuing their conquest in the background. I like to imagine that fade to black as us falling asleep, and each level of a flower being a dream. Flower was conceptualized as an interactive poem, exploring the tension between nature and urban settings, and is described by That Game Company as poetry in motion. Looking at our first landscape, it's not hard to see why. Each blade of grass individually sways in the breeze. Instantly we're transported to a beautiful world full of peace and life. When this was released in 2009, it was absolutely breathtaking. Actually seeing the wind create waves across the plain was amazing. It was something I'd never seen, even in AAA games. The landscape there was typically out of the spotlight, more of a backdrop for the other elements like character graphics or multiplayer gameplay to shine. The flower's graphics still stand up to today's standards, thanks to its art style. It's simple and vibrant, although, to be fair, it is a remastered version that you're seeing here. The visuals are enhanced by a wonderful soundtrack composed by Vincent Diamante that you're hearing now. The soundtrack carries a wealth of the experience, rising and falling to match the environment we explore and forge an emotional connection to the journey we're seeing. In this game, you control the wind. How you control is going to vary a bit between platforms. On PlayStation consoles, any button causes the wind to blow, and you guide the wind using the 6-axis motion control of the PlayStation controller. Now, in my experience, motion controls normally doesn't bode well for games, especially in 2009, but this controls surprisingly well. It feels natural, like when people instinctively turn their controller when trying to steer in Mario Kart. On PC, you have the option of WASD to steer, or use the mouse to steer. Gameplay itself is quite simple. You fly from flower to flower to cause each to bloom, and cause other effects in the world nearby. Each flower adds a petal to your trail and increases your speed. There are no intense mechanics to learn. We're here simply to go where the wind takes us. Now, on paper that may not sound like the most innovative or engaging game, but that's where an important distinction comes into play. Flower is more of an experience to be felt, rather than a game to be beaten. When asked about the gameplay, Flower's director, Genova Chen, commented saying, "We could add all kinds of challenges to the game, but they'd all end up making the people say f when they fail the challenge. I don't want the player to play Flower and say f." Okay, Chen, then why did you add this achievement?
Alright, we got this.
We got this, come on, come on. Ah, fuck! Of course, for you hardcore gamers, in addition to achievements to pursue, there are some secret flowers to find. 3 in each level, with a little reward at the end for finding them all. As more flowers are bloomed, more parts of the level are opened up. In the first level we start in a field, and slowly revitalize dead grass throughout it. Eventually we are met with a lone tree that looks to be dying. After gathering the flowers surrounding the tree, a tornado of petals appears before us. Here you are free to investigate the tornado, explore for any remaining flowers, or simply fly around and appreciate the landscape. You're free to decide when the level ends. A quick treatment of flower power and the tree is restored. Now we snap back to reality, but something is different. Everything is a little brighter. The dark, oppressive gray has eased up, and our flower has bloomed. The world is more inviting. Each level completed changes this scene, adding color and life to our perspective, and of course another flower to explore. Over the course of 6 levels, our apartment becomes almost unrecognizable. We haven't relocated, but our focus has shifted. The cacophony of the city is replaced with birds chirping and children playing. Sure, there's still some sounds of the city, but they're no longer trapping us and drowning out the sounds of life that were likely always there if we only took the time to hear it. A flower is short. You can complete all 6 levels in a little over an hour. I don't want to spoil too much in this video, as I'd encourage you to take Flower's journey firsthand to truly immerse yourself in the experience. However, if you'd rather watch the game instead of playing it, check out the description for a full playthrough. I feel commentary would take away from the experience, so this is a silent playthrough from start to finish. Over the course of the journey, you'll travel from isolated nature, see the hints of civilization, to the pits of urban despair, and finally to a harmony of city and seed. There is no dialogue throughout the game. The story is told through the sights and sounds along the way. You're also free to replay any level at any time. In fact, Flower is meant to be played multiple times. Each subsequent time you complete a level, you're met with a reminiscence screen where cinematic angles of the area are shown until you're ready to move on. There's even an achievement for spending some time just reminiscing here. So let's just take a moment together and breathe it all in. Flower was released in 2009 from That Game Company as a downloadable title on the PlayStation 3. You may recognize them for their following game, Journey, or more recently for Sky. During research for this video, I was surprised to find out how well received Flower was. When it released, none of my friends had heard of the game. It was so different than other popular games at the time. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Batman, Arkham Asylum, Left 4 Dead 2. The list of dark, gritty, or violent games goes on and on. Flower was made deliberately in contrast to this. It was meant to invoke positive feelings in the player. None of this is meant to diminish those other games. I know I spent many hours playing Demon's Souls, experiencing the exact opposite of positive feelings. However, we all need a break from that from time to time. Since its release in 2009, Flower has won a wealth of awards, and has even been inducted into the Smithsonian's permanent collection. Part of its success is due to its simplicity. Anyone can pick up and play Flower easily with its simple controls. If you'd like to try Flower, you can find it on the PlayStation Store, on PC at Steam, Epic, and GOG, and finally the Apple App Store. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed or in need of a peaceful escape, try Flower and let the wind guide you. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more content to come. Like the video if you enjoyed it, or dislike if you didn't. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments too. You've been watching TinyGuard, and I'll see you in the next one.